the truth sets us free. With the light that leads the blind to see. Voice of the word, voice for the good, voice of the hope, voice of the voice of the word, TV.
VWTV, ang telebisyon nga may misyon.
Voice of the world, TV.
The 129th regular session is now called to order. Let us all stand for the prayer. The SK Federated President can lead the prayer, followed by our national anthem.
Bless the Lord, souls of the presence of the Lord, in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Dear Lord, we offer this gathering to you and ask you to bless it with your wisdom and ways. We thank you for this opportunity to be together, to go in all love and service of you above each other. Ask you gently, lighten our minds to know what is true and just, and strengthen our wills to pray faithfully what we come to see as our duties. May all our thoughts, words, and actions be directed to make your name and your love better known among men for the sanctification and their happiness here and eternity. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
Mandated by law to enact measures and ordinances
that redound to the general welfare of my constituents
in their
pursuit for happiness, peace, and prosperity.
In their pursuit for happiness, peace, and prosperity.
I believe in public service above self.
I believe in public service above self
as the guiding principle of my official act.
as the guiding principle of my official act.
And as I treat the pathways of local legislation,
And as I tread the pathways of local
may the
legislation,
Almighty guide my mind and heart,
may the Almighty guide my mind and heart,
that I shall be true to my constituent and the Filipino people.
that I shall be true to my constituents and the Filipino people.
Suggested by our secretary that there are 11 members present. The chair hereby declares that we have a quorum. Item.
Approval of order of business.
Madam.
Honorable Presiding Officer, I would like to move for the inclusion under our proposed resolution, a resolution approving the barangay budgets of Barangay San Mateo, Sabang North, Sorok, Barangay B, Lalawigan, Binuangan, Ando, and Barangay A.
Second. Questions? None. Motion's approved. Any more amendments?
No more, Honorable Presiding Officer. Honorable Presiding Officer, I move for the approval of our order of business as amended.
Second.
Seconded.
Any objections? None. So the order of business for today is hereby approved as amended. Next item.
We now move on to other matters. On the matter of the concern of city RRMO, we have been asked the Assistant Criminal Director.
Honorable Presiding Officer, I move for the suspension of our internal rules of procedure so that we can propound questions and allow our guest speaker to speak before the session.
Okay. Any objections? And our internal rules are hereby temporarily suspended. We have here from the Office of the Civil Defense, Assistant Regional Director. Okay.
I would like to ask permission to take off my mask. Okay, good morning everyone. To the Honorable Mayor Agda and the Honorable Vice Mayor Sonco, sir. And to the City Council of Borongan City, good morning to all. This is a privilege to present to you our program. Actually, this is the special part of, or the highlight, one of the highlights for our observance of the National Disaster Resilience Month. So, as a backgrounder, as per Republic Act 10121, we are obliged to conduct series of activities in the observance of the National Disaster Resilience Month, which is being done every July of the year. So, with this, we propose with the City Government of Borongan na gawin yung activity na Regional Rescue Jamboree. Actually, supposed to be 2020 pa yung activity natin. Kaya lang, due to the pandemic, na-move. And malaki din yung pasasalamat ng Office of Civil Defense na patuloy pa rin tinatanggap ng City of Borongan yung ating program. Actually, hindi lang naman po ito for the benefit of the city, but for the benefit of Eastern Visayas as a whole. So, allow me to present the Regional Rescue Jamboree 2022. So, ang rationale natin dito na ang Philippines is being visited by different calamities or disasters. So, daanan tayo ng typhoon, meron din tayo mga active faults in the region. And dinadaan din tayo ng mga cargoes from Manila to Luzon, from Luzon to Mindanao, passing through Eastern Visayas. And may mga hazardous materials as well na dumadaan sa atin. So, we intend to be prepared in those aspects. Next. So, ang background natin, the Cantac of the Regional Rescue Jamboree, nag-start siya ng 2008 until ngayon. So, hindi lang tayo nagpaganda ng Rescue Jamboree for the years 2010, 2014, and 2020 and 2021 due to some reasons. But we intend to capacitate lahat ng mga responders in the region para we are prepared anytime na kailangan natin ng tulong sa iba't ibang provinces in Eastern Visayas. Next. Ang objectives natin for the conduct of the Regional Rescue Jamboree or RRJ is to implement, incorporate, and integrate incident command system for the whole duration of the Regional Rescue Jamboree. And then conduct inventory of skills, equipment, accreditation, and endorsement sa tulong din ng ating Sangguniang Bayan. Ma-accredit sa ma-endorse yung ating mga pangailangan sa Disaster Reduction and Management Office. Enhance capabilities through series of updates or lectures on search rescue and retrieval, tabletop exercises, drills through simulation of scenarios, and then exchange of good practices and learning experiences from the different responders or participating teams coming from other provinces in the region. Open communication line with other rescue teams and communication groups, and also develop teamwork amongst rescue teams for different local government units. So, ang expected output natin dito is a fully equipped response teams of Eastern Visayas, ready to respond any given moment of the day whenever disaster happens. Ang proposed date natin for the conduct of the Regional Rescue Jamboree is July 4 to 8 this year, 2022. Magiging opening salvo siya ng ating month-long observance of National Disaster Resilience. Sa proposed program of activities, usually ang Regional Rescue Jamboree, nag-start tayo ng Day 0. So Day 0 is a day prior the official start of the activity. Sa Day 0, ginagawa yung arrival, registration, check-in of participants, establishment of camp, and then installation of tents. Yung check-in of participants, hindi yan check-in sa hotel. Check-in po yan as naka-register sila doon sa ating registration. And then, in the afternoon, prior sa official start ng activity, pinapatawag po natin or ipapatawag natin yung different disaster resolution management officers katulad kay Sir James, yung mga counterpart ni Sir James all over the region, together with the response team leader and the assistant team leaders for a lecture on leadership and rescue team management. Next. So day 1. The day 1 will start with morning exercise, to be followed by breakfast, may mga admin time, and the announcement of the day's activities, and then motorcade with government officials. We intend to invite the city government officials and provincial government officials to include also yung mga participating line agencies in the government. And we will be requesting highway patrol group to lead us with the motorcade. And magkakaroon po ng opening program. So the opening program details will follow later. In the morning of day 1, at 10 o'clock, we will start our lectures and refresher course on the different disciplines of the search and rescue. So, ang kasama na dito yung high-angle search and rescue, mountain search and rescue, collapse structure search and rescue, water search and rescue, air-to-ground operation seminar. Ito po yung mag-utilize tayo ng availability of helicopter from the Tactical Operations Group, Philippine Air Force, Emergency Management Service, and Ambulance Management. So, incorporating na dito yung new normal response kasama na yung pandemic natin. Safety driving, alam naman natin na maraming vehicular accidents. So yung ating mga ambulance drivers and DRM as a whole ay kailangan din natin bigyan ng refresher course. Kaya as well, i-invite din natin si Highway Patrol Group to discuss the following matter. We already discussed initially with RC, the Regional Chief of the HPG for this concern. And then EOC Management, EOC means Emergency Operations Center. Lahat po kasi ng local government unit ay once activated, yung kakaroon ng Emergency Operations Center. And whenever there is an incident or event, a planned event, kailangan natin i-implement yung incident response system. So para alam natin yung function ng bawat isa. And then, we usually, before the end of the day, doon sa dinner, mostly, ang nangyayari dyan is nag-host na dinner yung host LGU. So, hindi naman po si Boodle Fight. Boodle Fight po. So, depende po sa ibibigay na food ng local government units. Next. Sa day 2, propose pa naman po ito, pwede pang mabago. Tree planting and coastal cleanup kung saan po ang pwedeng makatulong yung ating mga responders para magkakandak ng tree planting ng coastal cleanup. And pwede rin gumawa ng additional activity na scuba surveying. So kung saan yung dive sites ninyo pwede natin linisan. Marami po tayong mga responders na mayroong mga scuba equipment. Kami din po sa OCD tutulong doon sa scuba surveying. So, yung buong participating teams, i-divide natin kung ilan yung activity na gagawin for that day. And then, continuation ng lecture discussion in the morning. And then, magkakaroon tayo ng simulation exercises sa hapon. So, yung buong hapon. So, yung simulation exercises na sinasabi natin dyan, application na siya doon sa ginawang lectures before next week. Sa day 3, after ng mga, yung day natin will start with the rescue march. So, parang stamina walk ito ng mga responders with their equipment from a certain area to siguro mga roughly 5 to 7 kilometers na walk with the equipment. And then, yung whole day ay nakafocus siya doon sa rescue challenge. Yung rescue challenge natin is magkakaroon tayo ng different obstacles. So, merong firefighting, may vehicular accident, may pag-save ng drowning incident. So, serious yan. Parang triathlon, pero applying the different techniques ng search and rescue. So, medyo masaya ito kasi yun man yung ng mga responders, yun man yung forte nila. So, pagalingan ito ng response. So, on day 4, ang day 4 is camaraderie, bonding, socialization ng mga responders. So, the whole day will focus on that particular activity, but si RD nag-propose na karoon tayo ng fan shoot. Yes, marami kasing DRMOs na enthusiasts. This will also promote gun safety. And sir, pwede rin kayong sumali. So we will also be inviting other participants, not only focusing on the DRMOs. So, marami din yata dito sa Nagkasang. Kami din sir sasali. Pati mga girls sir. Enthusiastic din po sila sir. And also sir, on that day, on that particular period, we will also be inviting PNP para magkaroon na lang ng harapan para sa pagkuha ng helicopter. Next. Okay, ito yung mga, basing on the program, 4-day program siya. Ito yung mga proposed working committees na pwedeng utilize. Pwede siyang malagdagan or mai-ilumit, but initially, sir, basically yan po yung mga working committees. So, ang next kasi niya sir is more on the index na. Kung sabihin natin index, ito na yung bibigay natin scenario for the responders to react. Kaya sa hindi na rin pwede siyang i-share kasi naka-live tayo sir, makikita ng mga responding teams natin sa intelligence. So, kailangan sir medyo may element of surprise. So, basically po, yun yung whole week na activity para sa ating Regional Rescue Jamboree. And once again, I would like to thank the Honorable Vice Mayor for providing us the time in providing this presentation. And we do, alam na po namin na andun yung full support ng Council for the said activity. Once again, hindi lang po for the benefit of Borongan, but for the whole Eastern Visayas. So, tinutulungan natin na ma-upgrade yung capabilities ng lahat ng local government units in the region. So, maraming salamat po sa oras ng tinanong.
So, thank you din also, sir. Tapos inabulig gabi na din ni Hamon, kami na ato, bakit pagyo. And of course, at the same time, i-enjoy naman natin mga responders. Itato na lang din ni Sir James. Ready na ba kita ini? Always ready. Actually, ang 2020 pa ini jamboree dapat tapos kung last rin pa ng kanina. Tapos may dahil ng tayo nilakayan niya lang ang pag-budgeting, may dahil ng na budget allocate ng pondo para yung rescue jamboree. Kaya pagkawagin ko at kang dinaha pisina, wala sa kulong pondo sa nag-allocate kami. So, itulang apunuhan na lang ngayon.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
No problem. Basta pa wala kami sir kung ano may bubuling. Anytime pwede kami
Yes, sir. This is already the start of coordination. At the first time, magkaroon tayo ng activity and after activity. So, expect sir na we will be coming here very often for the preparation of the session. So, after this meeting, sir, we will already send invitations to the different governments for them to prepare. Sir.
So, ilang tayo, sir? Ilang participating team?
Thank you for the question, sir. So, sir, for this year, sir, kasi alam natin na medyo napakante din ang 2 taon. So, we will be expecting, sir, more participants. We will be, I was looking into 75 to 80 teams, and that is at 15 packs per team, roughly 1,200 to 1,500.
Sabagay kayo.
And sir, we will advise the different teams na they will purchase their needs locally, sir, for post the economy.
So that's good.
The seeds.
Okay, so meron naman bisita na naman ito live. Sige, so more questions? Okay na? Okay, sige sir, basta kayo wala kami dito papaani para kami humuling anytime man. Ready lang kami masakaya. Pag walay, makatulad ka kami yun. Sige, so recess lang na.
Thank you, sir.
Honorable Presiding Officer, I move for the lifting of the suspension of our general rules of procedure so that we can proceed with our session.
Second.
Objection? None. So the temporary suspension of our internal rules hereby lifted. Next item.
Minutes.
Minutes. The minutes was emailed to you by our secretary. Any
Okay na. No quorum lang. Honorable Presiding Officer, I move for the approval of the minutes of the regular session held last March 30, 2022.
Any objections? And so the minutes from March 30, 2022 is hereby approved.
Post ordinances.
So,
Number 1.
next item.
Item 11, we have proposed ordinances. First is amendment of City Ordinance number 209, series of 2021 regarding franchising.
Honorable Presiding Officer, I move for the inclusion of the proposed ordinance under our business for the day for second reading.
Any objections? None. So motion is approved. Next item, Mr. Speaker.
Proposed ordinance retitling of the 3 positions under the City Vice Mayor's office from its generic title to primarily confidential position title as follows. Item number 1016-8, Administrative Assistant 5, Private Secretary 1. Item number 1016-9, Administrative Assistant 5. Item number 1016-10, Administrative Assistant 5, also Private Secretary 1.
Honorable Presiding Officer, I move for the inclusion of the said proposed ordinance under our business for the day for second reading.
Objections? None. So motion is approved. Continue. Next item, Mr. Speaker.
Proposed ordinance for Borongan City of Law.
Honorable Presiding Officer, I move for the referral of the said proposed ordinance to the Committee of Honorable Land Anacta and Engr for public hearing.
Any objections? None. So referred to the committee, to the appropriate committees. Next item, Mr. Speaker.
We have proposed resolutions. First, resolution granting authority to the City Mayor to purchase a parcel of land declared in the name of Goya Abita LTD located at Dorlawan, Bugas, Borongan City.
Madam Clerk.
Honorable Presiding Officer, this agenda was sent from our Executive Office from our City Mayor and attached are the resolution from the Provincial Appraisal Committee which declared the appraisal of the lot at 600 per square meter, the appraisal and evaluation cost, the offer to buy letter from the City Government of Borongan, a copy of the original certificate of title, tax declaration of the real property and official receipts, statement of real property tax as judicial settlement of estate with SPA to sell the real property. The attachments are complete and are fully signed and I move, Honorable Presiding Officer, that we pass and approve this resolution granting authority to the City Mayor to purchase the parcel of land in the name of Gregoria Apita Everyday at Dorolawan, Bugas, Borongan City at the price that will be determined by the appropriate and the official appraisal committee.
Second motion.
Objections?
We just want to ask, what's the purpose of this acquisition? What purpose? Yeah.
Mabot ba nga siya ng terminal?
Para nila itong appraisal kung ikakain. Kasi ay
Nakarin si Kaman.
I'm just thinking, it might be for our terminal for the proposed tricycle terminals and maybe agricultural center also for that area. I suppose, may recommend if ever possible, the resolution should contain the purpose of the purchase. Ano itong gagamitan.
That's a good suggestion. Yes, as suggested by our the other members, the Honorable Arago, get out ng resolution, I would have that purpose, which is sounds right. So we have a pending motion. Any second? Any objections? None. So the resolution granting authority to the City Mayor to purchase a parcel of land is hereby approved. Next item, Mr.
The resolution granting authority to the City Mayor to enter into a memorandum agreement on behalf of the City Government of Borongan with the Department of Health for Health Development in Eastern Visayas for the grant of one COVID-19 allowance for the city's eligible healthcare workers.
Honorable Presiding Officer, this memorandum of agreement will be beneficial to our frontliners especially. However, I would like to move that we lay this first on the table and invite our appropriate City Health Unit Department Head or representative to shed light on the matter and at least to tell us who will be the beneficiaries of this allowance so that we can be ensured that all frontline workers or frontliners will be given this one COVID-19 allowance and not just a few who will be selected.
Second, any objections? So refer to the appropriate
Later.
Next item, sir.
Proposed resolution approving the 23 applicants for franchise authorized bicycle for ride the city of Borongan.
The Honorable Chair of the
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. You will notice that these have been already 23 applicants because last time the board endorsed 9 applicants, which was not taken up because we did not proceed with our last station. I think there was a quorum. So the first 9 applicants were not retained. No quorum station. So last few days ago we have endorsed another 14. That makes sense because there are so many applicants already now vying for franchising bicycles. In fact, every week we are forced to have a board meeting because of these applicants. So this week again we expect another group of applicants. So this 23 involved applicants, 9 from the previous week, and the 14 newly endorsed applicants coming endorsed just a few days ago. So may I mention the 23 applicants, the 9 endorsed last week R. Lisa C. Lakambakal, Barangay Bale, Borongan City. Yuna D. Magpili, Barangay Sonco, Borongan City. Erwin Nenyo Is Pombo, Barangay Campisaw. Eugenia A. Rivera, Barangay Tabo. Rolando A. Factor, Barangay Canabong. Artemio Noy C. Dolpo, Barangay Batu. Rosario B. Anyo, Barangay San Jose. Jose G. Anol, Barangay Banoyo. Rodolfo E. Alingasa, Barangay Sonco. The newly endorsed 14 applicants are B. Gadi, Barangay Luzon. Sereno Angel Jr., Barangay H. Pulinti A. Balinya Senior, Barangay D1. Adalberto Asid, Barangay Bayubay. Alvin Carvajal, Barangay Lalawigan. Orlando Lirilo, Barangay Bato. Mita Adolfo, Barangay Luzon. Shirley Coquin, Barangay San Mateo. Niño Leones, Barangay Campisaw. Lino Macaso, Barangay San Gabriel. Lisa Musino, Barangay San Gabriel. Asil Pastel, Barangay Sabang South. Irma C. Pedro, Barangay Kalinatnan. Roberto L. Pomintel, Barangay Tos. You will notice, Mr. President Officer, that there are so many interior barangays now applying for a job on franchising of the tricycles. This is because of our newly constructed roads, perhaps, and given some livelihood after the pandemic already.
Honorable Arago, actually dapat ako binabati na yun, mas malapit na kung natatun ang pagka-franchise to good job that you work did by our Honorable Arago.
That's very true, Mr. Presiding Officer, but we do not we do not relax on the investigations of their applications. It should be well supported with documents and actual investigation, especially on the garage, that would lead to lessening of our transportation problems.
So can you put that the motion for the approval?
In this regard, Mr. Presiding Officer, I move that the appropriate 23 applicants for franchise of tricycles be approved.
Second?
Second.
Any objections? None. So the resolution approving the 23 applicants for franchise of motorized tricycles is hereby approved. The next item is
Resolution approving the barangay annual budget of the following barangay: San Mateo, Sabang, Barangay Sorok, Barangay B, Lawigan, Ginuwakan, Arago, and Barangay
Honorable Presiding Officer, we have conducted meetings with the budget officer to evaluate the barangay annual budgets of the said barangays, and we have also invited, as requested by our federated senior citizens officers, to invite the senior citizens in order for them to be apprised of the budgets allocated for senior citizens there. And during that committee meeting, it was found out that all 8 barangays were compliant with all the budgetary requirements, and therefore move that we pass and approve this resolution approving the barangay annual budget for 2022 of Barangay San Mateo, Sabang North, Sorok, Barangay B, Lalawigan, Binuwakan, Ando, and Barangay A.
Any objections? None. So the proposed resolution is hereby approved. Next item, Mr.
Review of the 2022 barangay annual budget of Barangay F, Barangay Bahas, Barangay Taypuan, and Barangay Limbauan.
Honorable Presiding Officer, I move to refer the matter to the Committee on Finance chaired by yours truly for further discussions.
Objections? None. So refer to the Committee on Finance. Next item, Mr.
We now move on to ordinance for second reading. First is amendment of City Ordinance number 209, Series of 2021 regarding franchise ordinance for second reading.
The Honorable
Thank you, Mr. President Officer. Actually, this could have been included in our last approval on the 12 peso per hike, but then we were not able to finish the drafting of this ordinance. There were there are two provisions in our franchising ordinance that we recommended for amendment. More particularly on the numbering portion of the tricycle. In our approved franchise, the recommendation of the committee was to paint the tricycle number on 5 sides of the tricycle. And the front, on the side, on the rear, inside the tricycle, and at the top. So, with that, the tricycle operators and drivers applications, one of their petitions was they are hard up in paying for the cost of these 5 areas for painting. And then we created it and we recommended. In fact, I researched in Tacloban City when I went there that in Tacloban there are only 3 portions which are painted with tricycle numbers. On the front, on the side, and on the rear. There was no painting on the rope, there was no painting on the inside. So we had acceded, the committee acceded to the request. And with that, instead of 5 portions of the painting, we just recommended to cancel the inside portion. In fact, because of the reason that the inside portion, they placed already the plate sticker there, the number of the tricycle and the plate sticker. So the inside portion was cancelled. And on the top also, recommendation of the mayor to lessen the burden of the tricycle drivers was to give the responsibility to paint the rooftop to the area, just spraying it through spray paint. So the responsibility of the tricycles was reduced to only 3. On the front, on the side, and on the back. Of course, we have included, again, we reiterated the placement of the reflectorized sticker, the real one, at the back. So that is the first amendment. From 5 portions to only 3, responsibility of the tricycle drivers, and with the inclusion, of course, the reflectorized paint on the back. So, teka ng 5, naging tulong na lang, painting Lyra, plus the sticker. The painting of the rope should be assigned to deliver you free, no charge. So that is it. The second amendment, of course, was on our provision of limitations to, and our franchise owners, we limited the ownership of franchise to only 2 per family. Only 2 per family. Inaraba naman ang mga damo at prangkisa from 3 franchises to, I think the highest number of franchises, 17. 3, 4, 5, 17. There are several franchises, more than 10 units. We had this provision to limit it only to 2 to give access to other applicants. We can reduce those operators to only 2. So, we had the new applicants, especially mga pagkaya, mga nag-apply, magkabayad at sansa. Pero inarapera, they requested, if ever possible, kami na nagbabaw ni Rolo, to give them a moratorium na magpakabayad naman nila before the franchise will be ultimately transferred to the boundary Rolo. They were even requesting for 3 years moratorium na mahaman-anay ng mga boundary Rolo before the limited franchise of to be implemented. The committee and the board have only recommended 2 years. 2 years of moratorium, not 3 years. So the operators of this boundary road have delivered already for operators. Exposed to tricycles before the implementation of the two franchise or may dilis po sa Engr because they use it as a business also. As boundary road. Kaya problema ay kakain mo namin diretsyon i-drop ang punta. Upon lapse of the franchise for this year or next year, ikakain Manila. Labi-labi na itong tagdaman, tag-desisiti, tag-putlo. So, the committee and the board acceded to a moratorium of 2 years para lang ma-dispose from and ultimately an add-on provision for limited of 2 franchise per family per day. An amendment lang ni moratorium lang. Moratorium para handam ang mga franchise. And there are about 50 persons, 50 operators na may tulo madain sa city. Ang pinakadami. And mga new applicants to and ultimately, this more than 2 applicants will be reduced to only 2.
After ang moratorium.
After moratorium.
So, any questions? Suggestions? Right now, so what is maybe distribute by mga franchise sa mga iba-ibang pamilya para yung issue. Any questions? So, Madam Chair.
Honorable Presiding Officer, since there was an exhaustive explanation about Honorable Arago of the said amendment to the franchising ordinance, I move that we pass and approve this ordinance on second reading.
Second. Any objections? None. So the proposed resolution amending the franchising ordinance is hereby approved on second reading.
Honorable Presiding Officer, I move for the inclusion of the said proposed ordinance on the amendment of the franchising ordinance under our business for the day for third reading.
Any objections? None. So motion is approved. Next item is 23.
For second reading, the proposed ordinance retitling the 3 positions under the City Vice Mayor's Office from its generic title to primary confidential position from private secretary to administrative assistant.
For further information of everyone, this is in my office. I was advised by the our human resource officer. Pag eliminate nomenclature, ang mga mababago may susunod na kita ka ng civil service. So dito civil service, siya na yung nomenclature, so mapalo lang ka para hindi ka masukla. So para yung maliliwan. So Madam President.
Honorable
Honorable
And before nag-submit naman liwat na kanan. Actually, the same Indian and kanan Sangguniang Sangguniang Panlungsod na counter items. So, na halitan lang kanan Vice Mayor's Office. And what according to our legal officer, what I think issues kay maray man the same man lang gihapan salary. So, maray issues.
Honorable Presiding Officer, as per advice of the Honorable Vice Mayor and our Chairman of the Committee on Personnel, Honorable Anacta, I therefore move that we pass and approve this ordinance on second reading.
Second. Any objections? None. So the proposed ordinance is hereby approved on second reading.
Honorable Presiding Officer, I would like to move for the inclusion of the said ordinance under our business for the day for third reading.
Any objections? None. So motion is approved. 1 minute, just. Session show. Next item.
We have ordinances for third reading. First is amendment to ordinance number 2021, the franchising ordinance. And second is the retitling regulations under the City Vice Mayor's Office from generic title to primary confidential position, that is from private secretary 1 to administrative assistant 5. That's all for third reading, and we move on to other matters.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Honorable Madam President.
Honorable Presiding Officer, I would like to take from the table the request for resolution granting a franchise or an authority from the Sangguniang Panlungsod for the establishment of the isabong. I would like to refer the matter to our legal officer for for research on the possible legal implications of this resolution before the Sangguniang Panlungsod can issue a resolution on the matter.
Any second? Any objections? So I refer to our city legal. Please take note, Mr. Secretary, to furnish a copy to our city legal officer. Next item.
Next item other matters, the ILG memorandum regarding dispensing, sealing, and reselling of pharmaceutical products in sari-sari stores and similar retail outlets.
Honorable Presiding Officer, may we ask our Secretary to read the ALG memo on the relevant provision, please? Wala kasi lang po yung sir to. Wala na po po. Opo.
We have memorandum circular Department of the Interior and Local Government, the ILG Appointment Center. It's corner Quezon Avenue, West Triangle, Quezon City. Memorandum circular number 2022-055. All provincial governors, city mayors, municipal mayors, barangays, and members of the local Sangguniang subject dispensing, sealing, and reselling of pharmaceutical products in sari-sari stores and other similar retail outlets.
Purpose na po lang. Purpose. Page 2 of 6. Number 2. Tapos number 4 na po.
Purpose, this memorandum circular is issued to all local government units and local operating units of the Philippine National Police to enforce the regulations set forth in Republic Act 918 on the dispensing, sealing, and reselling of pharmaceutical products.
Number 4 na po.
Policy content and guidelines. We have the general guidelines. Pursuant to Section 30 Republic Act 10918, no pharmaceutical product of whatever nature or kind shall be compounded, dispensed, sold, or otherwise be made available to the consuming public except through a retail drug outlet duly licensed by the FDA. Exception may be made in emergency cases which refer to life-threatening situations where a patient needs immediate medical attention and treatment and services of the pharmacist are not available. Sari-sari stores and other similar retail outlets and enterprises are prohibited from dispensing, sealing, or reselling prescription and pharmacist only OTC medicines as defined and classified by FDA, as these medicines may only be dispensed by or obtained from the licensed pharmacist and with said licensed pharmacist and price pursuant to Republic Act. The penalties, pursuant to Section 45 of the Republic Act 109-118, the dispensing or allowing the dispensing or sealing or offering for sale of prescription drugs or pharmaceutical products in a place not licensed by FDA and or by a person other than those under the direct and immediate supervision of the duly registered and licensed pharmacist are punishable with a fine of not less than 250,000 pesos, not exceeding 500,000 pesos, or imprisonment of not less than 1 year and 1 day for but not more than 6 years or both at the discretion of the court. The manufacturer, sale, offering for sale, donation, distribution, trafficking, brokerage, exportation, importation, or possession of counterfeit drugs are likewise punishable with the fine and imprisonment as provided in Section 8 of the Republic Act 8203. Failure to enforce the provisions of the rules and guidelines outlined therein constitute gross negligence and shall be grounds for disciplinary action against responsible local officials in line with Section 60 of the Local Government Code of 1981. The effectivity is norms of several shall take effect immediately, approved by the Government and new Secretary. That's all.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Secretary. So, any more next item, please?
Next item, we have quarterly report of the Citizens Office regarding the assessment, cancellations, and modifications for the period of January 1 to March 20.
Okay. Since it's not around, our assessor officer is not around, so it's just sunod na lang ako naman yung session. Actually, they were prepared in our previous session, kaya lang matanggap ka po. So next item, Mr. Secretary.
Adjournment.
Announcements. Any announcements from the other members? Adjournment.
Honorable Presiding Officer, I move for the adjournment of our 129th regular session.
Objection? None. So our 129th regular session is now adjourned. Thank you and okay na umaga.